If you've done all that, what you want me to do is figure out your profit on the building and put the foreign tax credit in correctly, right?
That is correct.
Okay. So
And
do you know how to make a copy of your tax return, electronic copy, and then attach it to the tax return, attach it to the email, and email it to me?
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah. You got a 12-year-old kid living next door? He can do it for you. Mitchell, I want you to click this thing into the television set, into the program for a second. All right, there's my son Mitchell. Did you see him there with his Groucho Marx?
No, I can't.
I know you can't, but you will if you watch this afterwards.
Oh, I
He
see.
is,
Okay.
yeah, so you can get all this back by listening to it again tomorrow or something or other. And we got Mitchell in on this with this Groucho Marx thing. Yeah, no, if you send me your TurboTax, finish it up to the best of your ability,
Yes.
with the Louisiana tax return in there too, and then make a copy of it, copy it when you save it, attach that to an email to me at Taxman, I will get it, okay?
I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll do it.
Send me an email with everything.
I can sleep better if I know there's somebody doing it, and I'm not going to make as many mistakes. The big one right now is when I transfer that money in, that I know it, and I'm using Charles Schwab as my bank.
Yeah.
And, they don't have any local banks.
Yeah.
So when I go down there in the morning with my check, they do have a local man that...
give them a check. Tell them that you sold the house in Edmonton, Canada, and here's why the check. Here's part of the money or all of the money, and they'll be happy to get it, and they won't treat it as a suspicious transaction because they know you and you've told them what it is.
And they'll log that in somewhere where it'll be prominent if somebody asks for it, huh?
Absolutely. They have to.
All right, Dave, that is great. Within the week, I shouldn't... Well, that CPA has not done his final work in Edmonton to get that extra money after the 25%.
Well,
when I talked to him, about it was a month ago, he says he's still waiting for the new forms for his computer.
Well, we've had ours for more than a month. If he hasn't got it,
I sent him an email today telling him I would like to get it because I'd like to get this done.
Well, what's your first name?
Jim.
Jim, why don't you just tell him to send the figures here because I'm going to do both countries at the same time.
Yeah, well, he's already started on it.
Okay,
Dave.
Whatever. Anyway.
But anyhow, I'll figure that out.
Okay.
And we'll go from there.
Okay.
Thanks
We're okay.
very much.
Thanks for calling, Jim. I really appreciate it.
I do too.
Okay. Bye-bye. Peace. Okay, Mitchell. I'm going to...
One more phone. We have one question from the chat.
Oh, do we? Okay, what's the question from the chat?
Todd. Hey, Todd, are you still in the chat?
Is it in over here?
It's over there.
Okay. Oh, here we go. We have a U.S. citizen. Wife received lease payment for oil and gas. Where does it go on the 1040 or how is it treated? Well, he should have got, if you're still there and you're listening to this, your wife should have got a form, I'm going to say a T5008 or a T5007 that is the equivalent of a K1 telling her what her royalties were. And the K1 figure then goes on page 2 of Schedule E of your 1040. And if you go on there, you'll find that if you look at Schedule E, there is a line for royalties on the Schedule E. So look at the Schedule E. You can put rent or you can put royalties. Put it on Schedule E, and that's how it goes on your U.S. tax return. And you've got to convert it from U.S. or from Canadian to U.S. dollars. And oh, wait a minute now. Is this a U.S. citizen? This isn't received from Canada then? Is this person in Toba or Tuab, are you in Canada or are you in the States? I'm assuming that it came from Canada, from a Canadian oil and gas. Because if it came from the States, you would get a K1 for sure. Comes from Canada, you get a 5007 or a 5008 or maybe even a 5013. Depends on what it is. If you didn't get it, you should phone the company and say, where is it? And the question is that they don't need to...
He answered your question.
Oh.
There's about a 20-second lag.
Oh, okay, here we go. Yes, even if no oil, gas or oil pump, this is still an exploratory phase in the U.S. as a U.S. citizen. And where did the, no, it came from a U.S. firm. Okay, well, then the person that paid it to you should have issued a K1. And my bet is that they just haven't got around to issuing the K1. And the money, if it's a royalty, even if it hasn't, they haven't pumped anything, if it's a royalty, it would go on Schedule E. And if it's rent, which it sounds like maybe it is, then it would go on Schedule E again, because it's either a rental payment or it's a royalty payment if it's oil and gas. If it's a rental payment because you've got it and there's no pumping or anything yet, then they're just renting the land from you and it goes on as a rental payment. And if you're paying taxes or anything on this land, then you would have some expenses against the money that you received. So take a look at Schedule E. I think you'll find that that's where it wants to go. Schedule E either as a rent or as royalty. And if you phone the company, you might find that they're still going to issue a K1. And in the oil and gas industry, it's not uncommon for K1s to come out different times of the year. And depending when they pay the check, sometimes they issue a K1 that ends up being for the year before or the year after. So you've got to take a look. I'd phone the company, see if they're going to issue a K1, and otherwise put it on Schedule E. Hope that answers the question. Does that seem to finish it, Mitchell, or what do you think?
That's a 20-second lag.
Well, it's got a 20-second lag, so I've got to hold on for a bit.
You won't know if it answers the question in another 20 seconds.
Yeah. I am losing.
There we go.
Hard to reach someone. Thanks. We'll try calling the two. They're a small firm and always hard to reach someone. Well, that's what you want to do. Find out if they're going to send out a K1 or not. Thanks for watching. My voice is going. Mitchell's voice is just about gone. Richard went home sick. I'm going to close us down early tonight, unless there's anybody else that wants to call in the next minute or so. So I think what we'll do is close it down, put the thing up on. Can we put something up and says that we're still in attendance? If you want a phone, we'll answer one. Did that work? Have we got a slide we could do that with?
Well, we only have 6 viewers right now, so it won't wear too much.
All right. Thank you for everybody who watched, and this will be up on Ustream in a few minutes, and it'll be up on YouTube and our own site, david-ingram.com, sometime in the next few days. Bye-bye. Peace.